This, ladies and gentlemen, is
Is
Car-Boyz.
Car-Boyz.
Welcome to the programme. Now, usually in this part of the show, I have my weekly rant, but I was reminded by a listener in Asia, Simon, that I was beginning to sound like a spoilt Westerner who has too few first world problems. And I thought, okay, then, instead of me setting up shop in the speaker's corner area of the Car-Boyz Hyde Park area of the show, going forward, we've got a new feature. It's going to be called Richard's Take. This will be a look at the world from my very own warped perspective. And before you say, hey, Richard, isn't this just rebranding a tired feature within the programme? I say, it is, and get used to it. This week, Richard's Take, look, I'm already referring to myself in the third person. I must be very important, either that or mad. Anyway, this week, my take is regarding car ownership and driving. Due to the fact the planet is still suffering from the global pandemic, I'm suggesting the car industry is going to be saved by the virus and not wiped out. Obviously, many car manufacturers, excuse me, are going to and are suffering. Jobs are being lost, production is being reduced, and unfortunately many bottom-end roles will be farmed out overseas if huge multinationals can do this. Pandemic or no pandemic, the pencil pushers will always want to save money. Jobs are being lost at Jaguar Land Rover, Nissan Europe, Ford, etc. In fact, the Society of Motor Manufacturers, or as I like to call them by the acronym SMM, reckon 1 in 6 jobs in the UK in the car industry is under threat. But, unlike JLo, it's a big but. What hasn't changed is our desire to use cars. In fact, it's going to increase, if not already, eventually. Here in London, our public transport's been virtually empty for 3 or 4 months. Nobody's on the train, nobody's on the tube. Buses are empty and are only allowed to carry 8 or 20 people, depending on their size. The double-decker bus, I think, should be able to carry, 65, 70.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the school run's been reduced in numbers, but commuting has gone up as many people decide to work from home. Sorry, commuting's gone down, but we still need to get to the supermarket. We still need to get to the shops. We still need to see relatives, unfortunately. Therefore, to go out our daily lives, a car is even more essential than ever and certainly safer than the train, the bus, or even a taxi. There are even specialised nights coming up specifically for drivers and their passengers. These include drive-in cinemas, drive-in comedy nights, even a drive-in church. For the latter, I'm not sure what's stopping you from drowning out the priest with the dulcet tones of the music from Radio 2 on a Sunday morning, but I'm sure you wouldn't ever do that. I think they've drawn the line, though, at drive-in pubs. I did suggest it, they said no. Now, with new car manufacturing in decline and the desire to drive increase, that can only mean increased demand for the second-hand market. This would, in theory, drive prices up for second-hand cars. We've already seen this online and in the classifieds, if you've been having a look, and in theory, will eventually cause a demand for new cars as well as and therefore increase production. It's all a bit pie in the sky, I know. Demands on certain things happen before any of this comes to fruition. But if our demand for more cars increases, that can only be a good thing for the whole industry. Simon, any thoughts?
I thought it was 1960s because near me they're just opening up a drive-through cinema.
Wow.
Which is really, really odd. So yeah, you turn up.
Did we ever have? It's an Americanism.
No.
I've been to a drive-in 30 years ago in New York State, and it was all right. It was weird. We tuned the radio to the FM frequency for the movie,
Yes.
and I just thought it was a bit strange because I like the process. I do like cinemas, and I like the architecture, and I like the whole process of getting the crappy popcorn. And you know, when we first looked at the cinema, you could still smoke. It's fantastic. Only upstairs though, if you wanted to smoke. But yeah, so I don't think it was ever a thing over here, was it?
No, I don't think it was, but it's something that's come over, and they've decided that you turn up, and then they allocate you a space, and then you watch a film. So
and I just think from a wider perspective, I've been looking at the price of second-hand cars. They seem to be slightly increasing. More people are using cars. My commute into work has got it has got a lot more increase, certainly than it was during the height of the pandemic. But I just think the law of diminishing returns and the sort of the desire to own cars will only increase the desire to build cars. We can't become Cuba and just be driving around all in second-hand cars. This thing is gonna ramp up. More cars are going to be produced, and I hate to say it, more people are going to drive. I'm not getting on a bus. I'm not getting on a train.
No, too risky.
It's not happening. Not right now. Thank you very much. I'm certainly not getting on a plane. So the safest thing is the car. So hopefully that's my rant or my take. It's my new thing.
Take.
Just to let you know, we also got a new sponsor for the show. It's
Yes.
it's all the way from Mallorca, and it's called water.
Don't taste like what it ought to.
Water don't taste like what it ought to, especially if it comes from Mallorca. And wow, and it does smell of water. What a great sponsor. So if you fancy something to drink, why not choose water? Low calorie,